Hello, welcome to Ekate's Crossing as we continue our journey of the Heart. Okay, we're up to chapter 12. Chapter 12, in search of the genuine, powerful male, female, sort of feminine, masculine energies, the essence of who we are as individuals. I think there's a whole lot more to that about finding that balance and everything like that. I think that's super important there. But I think there's a whole lot more. Now remember, this is written by John Wellwood, The Path of Conscious Love. What year was this written? Let's have a look and see what it says here. Or published, this book published 1990. Copyright 1990. Okay, so let's have a look here. So I think it is a book that has a lot in it, but let's use the Mermaid Tarot and the Healing Waters Oracle for a bit of a reflection for a moment as we sort of look at our masculine, feminine sort of energies, being empowered on our own journey. I think this is really it. This is about being empowered. So let's have a look and see what the cards have to say for this. What's important for us at this time as a collective? Oh, okay. So they're pulling out on us here. So let's do that there. That one. There. And right, so let's have a look at these 5 cards to start with. Let's have a look what pulled out on us. Okay, the first card we have here is the 6 of Swords. So it really is about moving forward, leaving behind the old, ready to be moving into smoother waters. Mentally. Okay, I think there's a lot about... Okay, that was interesting. So it's all about that being able to stand in your own power. I think it's about taking back what you feel has been taken from you on some level. So as you move forward, you start to take back what you feel has been taken from you in regards to the essence of who you are. We've got King of Pentacles. As we look for opportunities, we feel like we're offered opportunities. We have that sense of being practical in the approaches that we actually take. With the 4 of Wands, the commitments in relationships, the connections, the stability, the foundations being built, the commitments, the contracts, the agreements, all those sort of things come into play. And here we've got Queen of Cups in the mothering sort of energy, nurturing our soul. I think it's about being sensitive to ourselves and others as well in many ways. So it really is about moving forward mentally on our journey, being able to be empowered, take back what we feel is being taken from us, looking for new opportunities in regards to the stability or the foundations being built in regards to relationships on some level. And so it's about having that nurturing energy, which is super important. So let's have a look and see what the Oracle card. So what card is coming up here? Let's have a look. Okay, this one here is standing out. So here we have the Wishing Well. Unexpected gifts, kindness, and karmic jewels. So in this way, it feels very much as though things arrive that are unexpected, and it comes through from our own kindness, our own gentleness. It does feel as though we're reaping our rewards in many ways. It's all about what we give to what we receive. I think a lot of it is to do with that. So let's have a look and see what it says in the guidebook in regards to this card. So let's have a look here. What is the Wishing Well? Right, let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look. It's sad that at ancient times women would sing and whisper into wells. Oh, it is said that in ancient times women would sing and whisper into wells, believing the water would carry their messages from one corner of the world to another. This may sound like something from a children's fable, but in fact, several scientific researchers have theorized that water can be imbued with energy from our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Wishing wells are found all over the world, and they mirror to us the great reverence held by our ancestors for Earth's fresh waters. Greek mythology says the tradition of wishing wells began through the practice of throwing coins into a sacred well of the warrior Amphiaraus, who was a renowned oracle. The wishing well is a wonderful card that carries with it great blessings, gifts, and fulfilled wishes. When it appears in a spread, it's a sign that things are happening and that the realization of your dreams is likely to occur. Of course, any creation requires embodiment and action, so it's not a sign to stop moving towards your dreams in practical ways. Rather, it offers deep encouragement to keep going and to trust that all the groundwork you've already put in place is working. It can also be a sign that helpful people are coming into your life to support you in creating your heart's deepest desires. Healing Waters affirmation. I receive all of the gifts that life has to offer me with an open heart and an open mind. I'm surrounded by kind, helpful people. Things are working out for me. I'm living my heart's deepest, most daring prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let us continue with the Journey of the Heart, chapter 12, as we reflect on the Wishing Well card. Okay, for thousands of years, the relationships between men and women, woman and woman, have been clouded and distorted by unrealistic fantasies. Projecting our hopes and fears, we have idolized each other as angels and saviors, or maligned each other as monsters and demons. Rarely have we recognized each other as whole human beings. Now, with all the traditional sex roles and stereotypes breaking down, even our own maleness or femaleness, which used to be taken for granted, has become a matter of uncertainty and doubt. Yet the current upheaval going on within men and women also provide a new opportunity to uncover a more essential maleness or femaleness concealed beneath our old conventional roles. The present situation challenges us to dig deep and ask the most fundamental questions. How can we bring forth the authentic, powerful, empowered energies from within us? How can we draw on these elemental energies to deepen our sense of who we are and what we have to give each other? How can we overcome the optimized struggles that have plagued them for thousands of years and forgo a new kind of creative alliance? Since there are a few sources of external guidance to draw on, we each have to undertake our own interval search to find out what it means to be an authentic, empowered person. The search begins by digging down through conventional notions and consider what is valid for ourselves as individuals. In doing this, we soon discover that masculine qualities do not belong to men alone, any more than feminine qualities belong only to women. Every individual has access to a whole range of both masculine and feminine energies. As we cultivate this wider spectrum, our ways of expressing ourselves have become more flexible and dynamic rather than stereotypical. This allows us to take a further step, discovering the essential male or feminine within. So this search seems to have three main stages. Waking up from socially conditioned sex roles and stereotypes that we have unconsciously acted out. Discovering that both sexes have access to both masculine and feminine energies, and blending and balancing these energies within ourselves. For a man, celebrating the genuine, powerful maleness within him, and for a woman, celebrating her genuine, powerful femaleness. For both sexes, appreciating and living their differences consciously and using them to help spark each other's growth. Stage 1. Recognizing unconscious sex roles. Our identity as either male or female begin with imitation. From the earliest age, we seek a sexual identity, yet all we can do is imitate the models available to us: parents, older siblings, peers, or images in the media. People in most cultures through the ages have related to their sexual identity in this unconscious, imitative way. Among traditional peoples, the tribe or social collective prescribed how men and women should interact. Since individuals did not have to question or even think about male or female roles in such cultures, the relations between the sexes were able to function smoothly and unconsciously. In our culture, the predominant stereotype portrays a strong, protective male and a soft, compliant female. Whether we regard these roles with nostalgia or with horror, they no longer seem to be viable models. Cut off from masculine strength, women often become passive, dependent types who desperately try to attach themselves to men. Cut off from their femininity sensitivity, men can become brittle and overbearing, lacking in vision and depth. Couples who try to live out conventional stereotypes of domestic bliss often wind up sadly disillusioned. Nonetheless, feeling the pain of these dead ends can provoke us to explore our masculinity or femininity in a deeper, more conscious way. Stage 2, developing a balance of both masculine and feminine within. To be individual is literally to be undivided whole. So to find an authentic individual style of being male or female, we need access to the whole spectrum of both masculine and feminine energies moving in us, beneath any stereotypes of manliness or womanliness. This means exploring and cultivating certain qualities previously considered the province of the other sex. When a woman, for instance, decides to face life as an individual rather than as a man's appendage, she naturally begins to develop qualities once considered masculine, such as autonomy, independence, or assertiveness. When a man feels stifled by the conventional codes of manliness, he naturally becomes more curious about his gentle, intuitive, receptive side. Although it may seem risky to try out these new qualities, the potential reward is more balanced expression of masculine and feminine energies within us. Cultivating this wider spectrum of energy also expands our vision. We begin to see how masculine and feminine are part of a larger interplay of polar forces at work in everything down to the very spin of the subatomic particles. The ancient Chinese view of yin and yang is particularly useful in revealing how these two energies interact in all phenomena. By helping us see how there are two sides to everything, it can change our view of masculine and feminine from oppositional to complementary. Yin is the energy of centripetal force associated with inwardness, gathering together, cohesion and relatedness. It is associated with the element earth, the abundant ground that connects and sustains us as human beings, and water, the fluid, graceful mother of life. Like the generous, accommodating earth, yin nurtures the ripening of individual beings. Whether we are male or female, we can find substance in this power of connectedness. Its mature expression in earth wisdom, or old yin, a seasoned knowledge that comes from working with things from the ground up. When we are in touch with this quality, we are not afraid to be ourselves. We can take our seat on this earth without apology or pretense, drawing on a power that comes to us from the depths. If we ignore this deep earth body wisdom and live mainly in our busy minds, we tend to shrivel up. Yang is the principle of centrifugal force, separation and individuation, like a rocket exerting tremendous force to break away from Earth's gravity. Yang is the power that propels our development as individuals. It is associated with the expansive elements in air and fire. Yang is the energy of fertilizing, initiating and executing. It is piercing, penetrating and arousing, like thunder and lightning. And its mature expression is heaven, wisdom, the ability to expand beyond narrow viewpoints and to see one's life in larger cosmic perspective. While yin governs coming together, yang governs moving apart. These two poles of human relationships are the basic principles governing all interactions in the universe. Yin and yang are not confined to any single form of expression. We can see this in polytheistic religions like those of ancient Greece or India, whose pantheons of gods and goddesses embodies those energies in many different ways. For example, a scientist Apollo and a warrior Mars express yang in very different ways, just as Mother Demeter and essential lover Venus express yin differently. Polytheistic religions also portray yang qualities in women, Artemis and Athena, yin qualities in men with Adonis and Pan. They recognize earthly male gods, Dionysus, Vulcan, the Celtic horned gods, as well as heavenly female goddesses, Ishtar, the queen of heaven, and the sky dancer Takinis in the Tibetan tradition. So we cannot strictly associate yin and earth with women, or yang and heaven with men. In the area of emotional expressiveness, for instance, women are often more yang, initiating, provoking, penetrating. These men, who are often more passive, shy, or hidden with their feelings. As an ancient Chinese medical text states, both man and woman are products of two primary elements. Hence, both qualities are contained in each sex. Nevertheless, men generally contain a larger proportion of yang and are said to belong to yang. Women are generally contained a larger portion of yin and are said to belong to yin. In other words, yang is home base for men and yin is home based for women. Thus, a man could be earthy and sensitive, but unless he is also in touch with yang energy, his fiery initiative or expansion vision, his masculinity will be incomplete. And a woman could be a strong leader or a brilliant thinker, but unless she is in touch with her earthy receptive qualities or her watery intuitive side, something will be missing from her femininity. Thus it becomes clear that men and women cannot ripen fully into themselves unless they develop both yin and yang within them. A woman who is yielding and nurturing, but cannot act on her own or think for herself, is not yet fully developed. She may have young yin, or be girlish, attractive, and sweet. Yet developing her yang side can help her tap in a deepest kind of female power. Excuse me. When she can stand up as an individual, she can also sink deeper roots into her earth wisdom, developing old yin, sagacity, and prowess. Similarly, the classic macho male who has to prove that he is a real man is still unripe. As long as he fears opening to his softer yin side, he will never grow up. He is young yang. He can be bold and aggressive, but he has not yet ripened into old yang, the real power and wisdom of manhood. Young yang is green and raw, very full of itself, like a new shoot pushing up through the earth. Yet, if the shoot is to grow into a tree that can bear fruit, it must go through a yin stage of opening and receiving light from the sun and nutrients from the earth. Now that women are turning their energies outward, it is not surprising that many men have started turning inward, seeking new source of guidance through meditation, psychotherapy, or just plain soul searching. When a man becomes more receptive rather than trying to control or manipulate, he develops a larger vision of life, which is the hallmark of old yang wisdom. A man becomes truly wise only when he has integrated his yin side. Yes, yet because oppositional mind runs so deep, we may find that in overthrowing the hold one side has over us, we become dominated by the other side instead. Thus, in cultivating gentleness and receptivity, and in reacting against old macho stereotypes, many modern men have turned against their male power altogether. As their newfound yin sensitivity takes them over, they are unable to take forceful stands or express strong convictions. Robert Bly has described such men as soft males who are lacking in energy, life-preserving, but not exactly life-giving. There are times when a man must be able to bend and yield, but at other times he must be able to take charge. If a man's sensitivity undermines his yang strength, he cannot express firmness or leadership. This only creates a new set of problems in his life and in his relationships. A similar danger exists in reverse for many modern women. A woman's newfound yang power may attack or eclipse her feminine softness, making her brittle, hard, and inflexible. Taking on the brash quality of young yang, she adopts the same negative bias towards the feminine that has oppressed a woman throughout history, and so loses touch with her native feminine powers. This has a disruptive influence on her intimate relationships, and she misses the larger purpose of cultivating her yang power, which is to overcome one-sidedness and become a fuller, richer human being. Another potential hazard in cultivating both yin and yang within ourselves would be to conclude that a men and women are not really different. Couples who water down their differences, overemphasizing how they are both just people or pals, create a unisex blandness that lacks passion and vigor. Androgyny, the complementary expression of masculine and feminine within each individual, can be an important stage. However, when used as a way to avoid the sharp edge where male and female differences rub up against each other, it can lead to a dry sort of companionship that lacks creative spark and sacred depth. Finding a graceful balance between masculine and feminine ways of being is never easy. Just as a dancer has to work hard to develop spontaneity and grace, so learning to dance in a balanced way with the full spectrum of our sexual energies takes practice. We have been out of balance for so long that we can expect to fall into extremes along the way. In this light, the rigid man, the passive woman, the soft male, and the hard female all have further to go. They all manifest in incomplete stages in a larger development. In the end, a relationship can become richer, more spontaneous, and more adventurous when neither partner has a monopoly on either pole of tenderness or toughness, receptivity or power. Then not only can the masculine energies in the man dance with the feminine energies in the woman, but the feminine in the man can play with the masculine in the woman as well. A man might exert an earth influence on a woman through his steadiness or support and help settle her down, and a woman might bring in a heaven influence, arousing and stimulating her man by providing a larger perspective in certain areas. When the young yin and yang are strong in a woman and a man, their energy as lovers will remain vital, no matter what their age. She can be playful heroine maiden and he the gallant hero. Yet at other times she might express young yang by being boisterous or pursuing him sexually, while he might express the softer sensitivities of younger yin. Finally, the interaction of their old yin and old yang would allow them to be parents or wise friends who can offer each other counsel and support. In opening to this wider range of interactions, the play of man and woman develop a much richer texture and counterpoint than just two-part harmony. Men and women today can no longer afford to yield their other half to each other. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel, like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care. Blessed be.